Hey there, fellow travelers! Today, we're diving deep into one of the most crucial aspects of trip planning that often gets overlooked: packing medications. Whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or a first-time flyer, this comprehensive travel guide will equip you with all the knowledge you need to breeze through airport security with your meds in tow. So grab your notepads, because these travel packing tips are about to become your new travel essentials. Let's face it, navigating airport security can be stressful enough without worrying about your medications. But fear not. By the end of this video, you'll be a pro at packing your pills, potions, and prescriptions. We're going to cover everything from TSA regulations to international travel rules and throw in some genius travel hacks along the way. Ready to become a medication packing maestro? Let's dive in. The golden rule of medication travel. First things first, let's talk about the number one rule when it comes to traveling with medications. Always, and I mean always, pack your essential meds in your carry-on luggage. But wait, there's more to this travel essential tip. While your carry-on is good, your personal item bag is even better. You know, that smaller bag that fits under the seat in front of you? That's where your meds should live during your journey. Why? Well, imagine this scenario. You're boarding your flight and suddenly the overhead bins are full. The flight attendant asks you to check your carry-on. If your meds are in there, you're out of luck until you reach your destination. Not ideal, right? By keeping your medications in your personal item, you ensure they're always within reach. This is one of those travel packing tips that can literally be a lifesaver. So, make it a habit to pack your meds in your personal item every single time you travel. It's a small change that can make a huge difference in your travel experience. Prescription medications, the do's and don'ts. Now, let's talk about prescription medications. This is where things can get a bit tricky, but don't worry. We've got you covered with some essential travel guide info. First up, always keep your prescription meds in their original packaging. I know it's tempting to save space by tossing all your pills into one container, but resist that urge. Those original bottles with their labels are your golden ticket through airport security. They prove that the medication is prescribed to you, which is crucial, especially for international travel. Speaking of labels, here's a pro tip. Make sure the name on your prescription matches the name on your travel documents. This might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how often this catches people out. It's one of those travel essentials that can save you a lot of hassle at security checkpoints. For liquid prescriptions, like creams or syrups, keep them in their original containers too. Don't try to decant them into travel-sized bottles. That's a big no-no. Yes, it might take up more space, but it's worth it to avoid any issues at security. Over-the-counter medications. Keeping it simple. When it comes to over-the-counter meds, you've got a bit more flexibility. These can be packed pretty much anywhere in your luggage. However, if you're bringing liquid medications like cough syrup, you'll need to follow some special rules. We'll get into those in a bit. One of my favorite travel packing tips for over-the-counter meds is to use a pill organizer. It saves space and keeps everything neat and tidy. Just remember to bring the original packaging along too, especially for international travel. Some countries might ask to see it. The liquid conundrum. Navigating the 311 rule. Ah, the infamous liquids rule. You know, that pesky regulation that limits you to 3.4-ounce containers in a 1-quart bag? Well, here's some good news. Medications get special treatment. Both prescription and over-the-counter liquid medications are exempt from the 311 rule. That means you can bring larger quantities of liquid meds, even if they exceed 3.4 ounces. However, and this is a big however, you need to declare these items at the security checkpoint. Here's one of my top travel essentials tips. Pack all your liquid medications in a clear, separate bag. This makes it easy to pull out for screening and shows the security officers that you're organized and prepared. Trust me, they appreciate that. Medical devices. What you need to know. If you use any medical devices, like an insulin pump or a CPAP machine, you've got some extra considerations. But don't worry, we've got you covered with this travel guide info. First, always inform the TSA officer about your device before you go through screening. You won't need to remove it, but they might need to do some additional screening. If you have an internal medical device, like a pacemaker, let them know as well. You'll want to avoid the metal detectors in this case. Remember, TSA officers are trained to handle these situations with discretion and respect. Don't be shy about speaking up. It's your health we're talking about here. International travel. Doing your homework. All right, Globetrotters, this section is especially for you. When you're traveling internationally, you've got an extra layer of complexity to deal with. But with these travel packing tips, you'll be well prepared. Before you even start packing, do your research. Different countries have different rules about medications. What's perfectly legal in your home country might be strictly prohibited in another. This is especially true for things like strong painkillers or medications containing stimulants. Check the embassy website of your destination country for information about bringing medications. Some countries might require you to carry a doctor's note or even get pre-approval for certain medications. Here's a travel essential tip. Make a list of all your medications, including their generic names. Some countries might not recognize brand names, but they'll know the generic version. Keep this list in your travel documents for easy reference. The cannabis conundrum. Navigating a legal minefield. Now, let's talk about a particularly tricky subject, traveling with cannabis or CBD products. This is an area where you really need to do your homework. Even if you have a prescription for medical marijuana, traveling with it can be incredibly complicated. In the US, marijuana is still illegal under federal law, which means you can't fly with it, even between states where it's legal. For CBD products, the rules are a bit different. Products containing no more than 0.3% THC are generally allowed. But again, always check the specific rules for your destination. When it comes to international travel, err on the side of caution. Many countries have strict drug laws, and you don't want to end up on the wrong side of them. It's usually best to leave cannabis products at home when traveling abroad. Packing smart organization is key. Now that we've covered the rules, let's talk about some practical travel packing tips to make your life easier. First, invest in a good toiletry bag or clear pouch for your medications. This keeps everything together and makes it easy to access. I like to use small, labeled containers within the bag to separate different types of meds. For pills, consider using a daily pill organizer. This not only saves space, but also ensures you don't miss a dose while you're on the go. Just remember to bring the original packaging too, especially for international travel. If you're traveling with liquid medications or medical supplies that need to stay cool, invest in a small insulated bag. You can bring ice packs through security to keep your meds at the right temperature. Be prepared, extra precautions for peace of mind. When it comes to medications, it's always better to be over-prepared. Here are some travel essentials to consider. Pack extra doses of your medications. A good rule of thumb is to bring enough for your planned trip duration, plus a few extra days. You never know when travel delays might occur. Carry a copy of your prescriptions and a letter from your doctor describing your medical conditions and medications. This can be incredibly helpful if you lose your meds or need to see a doctor while traveling. If you're traveling to a country where English isn't widely spoken, consider getting key medical information translated. This could be a lifesaver in an emergency situation. Airport security. Navigating the checkpoint. All right, you've packed your meds following all our travel packing tips. Now, let's talk about getting through airport security smoothly. First, arrive at the airport with plenty of time to spare. Rushing through security is stressful at the best of times, and even more so when you're carrying medications. When you reach the security checkpoint, inform the TSA officer that you're carrying medications. Be prepared to remove them from your bag for separate screening. Remember that clear bag we talked about earlier? This is where it comes in handy. If you're carrying liquid medications or medical devices, declare these as well. They may need additional screening, but don't worry. TSA officers are trained to handle these situations. Know your rights. TSA Cares. Here's a travel essential tip that many people don't know about. TSA Cares. This is a helpline specifically for travelers with medical conditions or disabilities. You can call them before your trip to get information about screening policies and procedures. If you're concerned about getting through security with your medications, you can even request a passenger support specialist to assist you at the checkpoint. Just make sure to call at least 72 hours before your flight. International considerations beyond security. When you're traveling internationally, your medication considerations don't end at the security checkpoint. Here are some travel guide tips for when you reach your destination. Keep your medications in your carry-on luggage even after you've reached your destination. This ensures they're always with you and protected from extreme temperatures in the cargo hold. If you're crossing time zones, talk to your doctor about how to adjust your medication schedule. This is especially important for medications that need to be taken at specific times. Research the availability of your medications at your destination. Some prescriptions that are common in your home country might be hard to find elsewhere. Emergency preparedness. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. While we hope your trip goes smoothly, it's always good to be prepared for emergencies. Here are some travel essentials to consider. Wear a medical alert bracelet if you have serious medical conditions or allergies. This can be crucial if you're unable to communicate in an emergency. Keep a list of emergency contacts, including your doctor's number, in your wallet or phone. Research medical facilities at your destination before you go. Know where the nearest hospital or pharmacy is, just in case. Special considerations. Traveling with children's medications. If you're traveling with kids, you've got an extra layer of considerations when it comes to medications. Here are some travel packing tips, specifically for children's meds. Like adult medications, keep children's prescriptions in their original packaging. Make sure the child's name on the prescription matches their travel documents. For liquid medications, the same rules apply. They're exempt from the 311 rule, but need to be declared at security. If your child uses any medical devices, like an inhaler or an EpiPen, make sure these are easily accessible throughout your journey. The future of traveling with medications. As we look ahead to the future of travel, we're likely to see some changes in how medications are handled at airports. Advancements in screening technology might make the process quicker and easier. We might even see special lanes for travelers with medical needs. But for now, the key is to stay informed and prepared. Keep an eye on TSA guidelines and always check the rules for your specific destination. Remember, regulations can change, so it's a good idea to double-check even if you've traveled with medications before. Conclusion: your medication travel checklist. We've covered a lot of ground in this travel guide, so let's wrap up with a quick checklist of travel essentials for packing and traveling with medications. Pack all essential medications in your personal item bag. Keep prescription medications in their original, labeled containers. Bring a copy of your prescriptions and a doctor's note. Pack liquid medications in a separate, clear bag. Research medication rules for your destination country. Arrive at the airport early and inform TSA officers about your medications. Consider calling TSA Cares for additional support. Be prepared with extra doses and emergency information. Remember, traveling with medications doesn't have to be stressful. With these travel packing tips and a little preparation, you can focus on enjoying your journey, knowing that your health needs are taken care of. So, there you have it, your comprehensive guide to traveling with medications in 2024. Whether you're jetting off for a quick weekend getaway or embarking on a round-the-world adventure, these tips will help ensure your medications don't become a headache. Safe travels, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more travel essentials and packing tips. Until next time, bon voyage!